All right, students, this is what we call a video extra because it's going to be brief. We're going to look at a great mental math method for multiplying a mixed number by a whole number. And we'll do a whole bunch of these little shorts as we find that there are skills that we need to try to, I don't want to say fix, but develop. All right, let's take a look. It's the distributive property. Well, with the distributive property, you're going to use it to employ a mental math method to multiply a mixed number by a whole number, but what the distributive property says is that a number times a sum is equal to the number times the first addend plus the number times the second addend. So when you multiply a sum, you can multiply each of the terms of the sum by themselves and add it together. So A times the quantity C plus D is equal to A times C plus A times D. Really where we're going to use it is in algebra with an expression like this. 3 times the quantity x plus 4. We can't add the x and the 4 together. We'll learn pretty soon that those are not what we call like terms. You can't add them together. You have to instead leave it separate and just multiply each part individually. 3 times x, 3x, 3 times 4, 12. This is where you're going to use the distributive property in algebra. Okay, but how can we use this for multiplying whole number times mixed number? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take an expression like this one, 3.5 times 4, and we're going to take that 3 and we're going to break it into 3 plus a half. And we're going to multiply 4 by each of the individual parts of 3.5. And this is not necessarily something I'm going to show on paper unless I feel like I need to. What instead I'm going to do here is I'm going to show this on, I'm not going to show it at all, I'm going to do this in my head. So 3 fours. 3 times 4 or 3 fours plus half times 4 or half of 4. So 3 fours and half of 4. So this is what's happening in my brain when I'm doing a problem like this. So 3 fours, that's 12. Half of 4, that's 2. Put it back together, 14. So this is a quick method for multiplying mixed number times whole number. Let's try a few examples. This is super easy, then pause the video, try each of these 4, and then play it again to watch the results. I'm going to go ahead and go through them now. So let's start with this first one. So I'm going to think 5 1/4. So 5 1/4 separated. 5 1/4 eighths. 5 eighths is 40. 1/4 of an 8 is 2. 42. Okay, 1/4 of an 8. Think about it. 1/4 of 8. If I broke 8 into 4 equal groups, let's make them dots. Make this nice and big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go back down my size here. So how many groups of 2 there are, or how many dots in each group out of the 4? 2. Okay, 1/4 of 8. 2. All right, let's go to the next one. 9 times 2 1/3. So 2 1/3 times 9. I can use my commutative property. Change order there. I can switch the order of those two. The 2 1/3, well, that's actually not where I meant to put that, is it? Let's fix that. I can switch the order of multiplying these two things here if I want. So 2 9s is 18. 1/3 of a 9 is 3, 21. 3 2/3 times 12, so 3 2/3. So let's see, 3 12s, that's 36. And maybe the part I write down is just this part. Maybe that's all I need individually. 2/3 of 12. 1/3 of 12 would be 4. So 2 4s, that's 8. Okay, and that adds up to 44. This one, a little bit trickier because it's not going to come out to a nice happy whole number this time. 2 4s, that's 8. 1/3 of 4. Well, just remember that a whole number times a fraction is numerator times whole number. So it's the numerator times the whole number, not both. We don't multiply by 4 over 4 because remember, that's really a 4 over 1 right there. Well, 4/3 is 1 1/3, so this is 9 1/3. So you're going to practice this with the worksheet today, and I hope you enjoyed your little video extra.